What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis here, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the UBL Season 3 Week 5 Team Builder versus Skyrander, and his team being the Scandinavian Stoutlands. And this is a very familiar opponent for myself from the UBL D-League days. He is my old nemesis from those days, and being the one that actually was able to beat me throughout that season in the finals. It hurts still, because he was able to beat me with getting a 0.06 chance on a Pacific turn that really cost me throughout that battle. And I'm here for my revenge, and maybe this was just a destiny and a faith that Skyrander did pick up the team that got something got left after having to drop out from the season, and it just all stars fell into line that we are gonna be going up against each other here on week 5. And for my sake, I'm here for my revenge, and hopefully we can get that with the team that I have built. And let's go through it. Shoutouts to SlackOut for his efforts for making yet again the layout. He actually is away from his home. I don't know where he's going at this moment, but I know he's very busy at the time when I asked him to be able to actually provide the graphics for me this week. And he was able to do it on last minute, and he had to a little bit shuffle more than normal he does. So big shoutouts for him for his efforts and his huge help in that regard. His social links will be down below in the description, as the showdown is being a jackass to me that I'm not actually here, but I am, so stop doing that. Anyways, we are here for the team builder. Like I said, showdown clearly is showing that we should be jumping into it. So the matchup you can see from the layout. As for my opponent, what team he took over, and the changes after, well, he took some changes after he took over what he wanted to make. And when it comes to his sea captains, he has Gyarados and Barbarico as his sea captains, and my sea captains respectively were Greninja and Moltres. So that is the matchup, and now the team that I'm gonna be bringing is gonna be centralized around with my Mega Evolution being Mega Gallade with 4 attacks, all punching moves. We were training this week for this match, so we are here for our revenge. So we are making sure that all of our different punches that we are gonna be throwing at Skyrander, we know that they are gonna be delivering huge hits on him, because look at that coverage that I'm packing. And look at his roster. He does not want to switch into this thing. I'm hitting almost everything super effectively. Some of them even quite effectively with my coverage. Or I'm doing at least neutral damage with my coverage. Or with my stab move to the point that everything gets 2-shotted ideally. So this is a very strong set as its moveset versus my opponent. And the spread in itself, we are running Adamant Nature with 100 attack, making sure that the max HP Mega Scissor will be awkward after Stealth Rocks, and so will be offensive Green Black. And then we have enough defense to live a Adamant Outrage from a Green Black, unless it's like a Dragon Fang or something like that, or a Choice Bandit. But on that note, we do have the speed investment to hopefully outspeed it. I'm not outspeeding a max speed Green Black, because I don't think he should be running that versus me. I feel like he's gonna be speed creeping Moltres properly, and even if he happens to outspeed me, yet again, the worst case scenario is that he's surely max speed, max attack, and Choice Bandit. That would be the worst case scenario, and if that happens, well, shoot, just to keep it PG over here, but I don't really expect that to be the case. But I'm really happy with this set. I really love the coverage versus him. And one of the big things that you're gonna be noticing is that I'm really emphasizing on the fact that Gyarados cannot set up on me. And if it happens to set up, I always have my fail saves, 2 of them, in the back to deal with it. And that's why also we have Thunderbones on Mega Gallade, which definitely will be outgoing that thing. But it's something just to keep in mind going forward, that you're gonna be seeing a lot of electric coverage just to be able to deal with that thing. Because that's really something that I wanted to have on this team, that I wanted to be somewhat like bulky offense, but it's still a little bit more aggressive, because I feel like I cannot bring too passive of a team versus a opponent that loves to play offense, and he's probably gonna be really leaning towards that playing versus me. So I want to make sure that I have proper ways to respond to that potential team build and plays that he would be doing versus me. And I feel most comfortable dealing with that being with my own offense, that is. So that's just keeping something in mind as a theme of this team, as we're gonna be keep covering them. And the second member of the team is going to be Moltres, making its back-to-back appearances. Not that gonna be Choice Scout this time around, or even a offensive. We are running a bulky Moltres, while offensive Seam of Moltres is really tempting versus him, not gonna lie. I really like how Moltres can potentially just be a huge nuisance versus him. With the Wakam Berry, Flame Body with Flamethrower, Hidden Power Electric yet again, like I mentioned about the Gyarados being a threat, Will-O-Wisp and Roost. The Wakam Berry with Will-O-Wisp and Flame Body potentially enables me to burn big threats like Current Black or a SeraOra, or ideally both if somehow that happens to be the case, but ideally I can burn one of them. And me expecting to be mixed attackers but physically orientated versus me, just being able to burn one of them with Moltres and lure them in with the Wakam Berry would be perfect for me, because if those are burned and he doesn't have a cleric on his team, that really eases it out for me to switch into them or be able to take hits a lot easier with something like Mega Gallade and just kill them off, as they cannot do too much damage to me if they are physically oriented. So I really like this kind of set on Moltres. We have the bulk on physical side and HP to live, a Expert Belt boosted Adamant Plasma Face from a SeraOra. And that's there to ensure that, cause I'm not gonna be actually bringing Hazard Remover this week, because I don't expect him to bring Stealth Rocks himself, cause his rockers are very weak, to say the least. Gligar is a decent rocker, but he doesn't seem to like it that much, and I don't think this matchup is something that is gonna lead him to bring a mon that he would otherwise not feel comfortable with. So I'm not really expecting him to bring rocks, but I do expect him to bring Defog. So at very worst scenario, if he does bring rocks himself, whoop-de-doo, my Moltres does get a quad affected by them. But if I just get my own rocks up, the two biggest threats versus me being Current Black and Gyarados do have to also take them. So if I have to make that trade-off, I will do that trade-off, and that's why I wanted to have the spread, just in case if that will be the case, to help the Wakam Berry come into play versus the SeraOra or the Current Black in itself too. And then we have the rest on the special defense, not really for specific reason, but it does enable me to take hits better from a Chandelure, even though I cannot touch it too hard, or from a Gardevoir, which I can pivot around it if I need to. So that is gonna be the Moltres. Then we are gonna be covering Bob. The Alola Mach is here with a Figgy Berry Gluttony set, because that's honestly just my favorite set and the best set that you can run on this thing. And we are running a Adamant Nature, max HP 108 on attack. We are gonna be covering the attack first, while we are running the Adamant Nature and that amount of attack investment, and that is there to OHKO a Gyarados that is speed creeping properly to outspeed the fastest mon of my team, being Greninja at +1, and having a certain amount of bulk after doing that, and max attack and Adamant Nature. This amount of attack investment with Thunder Punch will do the 100% minimum to that thing. So that is the benchmark that we are hitting there. With that, then we have the Fire Punch for the Mega Scizor, because otherwise I could not touch it, and I want to potentially surprise him, and I don't expect it to have knockoff to cripple me back. So this gives me a way to stay in versus it and be a huge nuisance for him to deal with that way. And then I have Konokov as my only stab, and because it just even though I could have run Pursuit to really trap the Chandelure and Gardevoir, which, trust me, it was there for a while and really tempting still, but I really love the Elemental Punches, as you can tell, this week versus my opponent. So I wanted to have those on my Bob, and we are gonna be having Knockout just to get rid of the items on the other things that could potentially switching on me, which can be really useful for me in a long run. And The other spread, what is very key here, the SPDF and speed is not important, they are leftover IVs, but the physical defense with the HP enables me to live a adamant outrage from a current black after stealth rocks, and then we can gain most of the health that we lose with the Figgy Berry as long as it's intact, and that enables me to pivot around a choice, well, not choice locked potentially, but outrage locked current black, and then swap into my scissor and punish him for doing that. So that is going to be the Bob, the Alola max set for this week, and then we are going to be bringing Savior, the Celebi. We are bringing a Rocky Helmet defensive Celebi with Zen Headbutt, U-turn, recover, and stealth rocks. With Impulse Nature, basically max defense, a lot of HP and rest on SPDF. The physical defense and HP enables me to live a XP belt boosted adamant fire punch from Aura after stealth rocks, that is. So that is the benchmark there. Rest is put on the SPDF, just enable me to take hits better from that regard, at least a little bit better than I can normally. Then we are running Zen Headbutt as our stab, U-turn for momentum, recover just to gain health, and stealth rocks. I wanted to bring stealth rocks versus a team with current black and Gyarados 100%, because they are 100% coming versus me. And if he doesn't bring them, well, that's just better for me, honestly. So I decided to bring this set mainly there to check his physical attacking threats, being Aura can be mixed or special, but I really expect it to be physical oriented versus me, and this is my primary way to deal with it. But this can also deal with a Virizion as long as it doesn't have Axisor, which I don't expect him to have, considering Moltres is bigger threat to him than Celebi is. And it can also deal with the Beaver unless it's like, I guess Choice Bandit would be the worst case scenario, which could do the most to me. Well, of course it would. But I should be able to deal with it relatively well, and we do have the Psychic Stab because of that to be able to deal with those things as properly as we can. And that's gonna be the Celebi, not really too much special in that regard. And then the fifth member of the team is going to be Scarf Tongue, the Greninja, with a Choice Scarf, Modest Nature, a lot of speed investment there to ensure that we outspeed even a +2 Adamant Gyarados with the spread that I would expect it to have. And then we are running Dual Stab in Dark Pulse, Surf, Hidden Power Electric for the Gyarados, and then the Grass Knot for the Barbarical. I will admit I did not actually at first have Grass Knot over there. For the longest of time I thought that I would be running U-turn, because of course you want to run U-turn on a Greninja because it forces swap outs and you want the momentum, and go from there, and it could be a very strong option for me honestly to have. But then I realized that my team is so weak to Barbarical, man. I'm so weak to that thing if I don't have this Grass Knot over here. So I had to put it there, and I went all the phases honestly with this decision. I was like being very denial that it's a Barbarical, he's not gonna bring that thing versus me. He's gonna bring Gyarados, and that is gonna be his setup win con, and that's that. But then I went to the phase of fear, and I was like, holy shit, if he actually brings that, I'm gonna get obliterated by that thing, and there's nothing I can really right now do about it. Mega Gallade is the only thing that could potentially OHKO it if I put close combat on it, which I didn't want to do, because I love running Train Punch for this matchup over it. And it's the literally everything else can potentially allow it to set up, unless he doesn't know my full set on Celebi and has to respect the Grass Stab. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep the Modest Nature because that ensures me to OHKO Gyarados after Stealth Rocks with the Hidden Power Electric, which is risky because this would mean that a Jolly Barbarical will outspeed me at +2, but I really don't expect him to bring a Jolly Barbarical versus me. I think he's gonna go Adamant if he brings it with Cell's Mass set, and that's that basically. And it's a risk that I'm willing to take, and I'm already took the risk, but it can bite me in the ass if I get this one wrong. But I just don't see him bringing a Jolly variant versus me, unless he expects me to bring Choice Scarf Greninja for whatever reason. And if he happens to see that coming, well, my hat goes off of my head if I would be wearing one and be like, okay, well, you deserve the win if you predicted that, but I really don't expect him to do that. And Krasna should be able to get the job done and Oko that Barbarical, and therefore I have a failsafe to his setup threats that I really had to respect and fear being those versus me. So the last member of the team before rounding off this team builder will be my Choice Bandit Caesar with Adamant Nature enough attack investment. Actually, the attack investment is not this really crucial. Now I remember, the crucial part is the HP and the defense. We are going to be able to live a +2 bounce and waterfall from a Gyarados unless he has the same move still intact. That is the benchmark that I hit on it. Then I put rest on attack, and with quick attack I should have a guaranteed 3 attack KO on the Gyarados, meaning that it cannot set up further than +2, and even then I can hit it 3 times before he can hit me with a +2 move, and therefore Okoing me back unless it's a C move or he happens to crit me. So that is kind of like the spread idea. Hopefully it made some sort of sense, but it has a purpose for sure, I can assure you that. And then we are running U-turn, Bullet Punch, Quick Attack, which I already touched on, and then we have Pursuit, because with the Choice Bandit Pursuit we do Oko a Gardevoir unless he's super bulky, which I don't expect it to be, and if it happens to be choice locked into one of its stabs, I can eliminate it and not worry about it for the rest of the game. So that is going to be the team versus my old nemesis from the D-League days, being the Skyrander. The battle hopefully goes up later today. I know this is a Friday when this is going up. I'm recording it that Friday, and that is because we actually had the actual battle yesterday at Thursday night, and because how my work schedule is, I did not have the time to sit down and upload or record and upload the team builder for you guys last night, even though I promised to upload it always on Thursdays. But it's just how it worked this week. Hopefully you enjoyed it regardless, and hopefully you will stay tuned for the battle in itself. I promise you it's worth to check out versus Skyrander. Check him out. His YouTube channel link will be down below in the description and popping out at the very end of the video, so make sure to go and leave a sub to him. Very awesome guy, and definitely recommend to check him out. But until the battle in itself, thank you all for watching, and until then I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.